Hey guys, welcome back. I'm going to be scotch brightening down and sanding the control panels and all the parts for Robotron and Sinistar. For the most part, a red Scotch Brite pad is all you need unless you have a bunch of rust and stuff like that. Control panels, I'm just going to lightly sand them, hit them with the Scotch Brite pad. Then they're going to get spray painted and they're going to get covered with a control panel overlay, so they don't need to be perfectly sanded down smooth. I mean, they need to be smooth, but they don't need to be like showpieces, because obviously they're getting a complete overlay over them. Now on these, I always end up painting the inside black as well. Originally they left them bare wood, but you know, you get overspray on it when you do your body work and primer and stuff, so I just always end up painting the insides of them black. Now, the funny thing is with a lot of these old Williams games and Midway games is textures were never always the same. And people think because you try to match the texture on a coin door that you have, that's the only way to do it. Well, that's not true. And here's a really good example as to why. Look at the difference here on this lower coin door. Okay, see the texture on this one. Look at the texture on that one. Two different textures. Both Williams cabinets. Okay, both made within probably the same year. I don't know if there was more than one factory that was making stuff like this, or they were sending it to more than one place to get powder coated or whatever it was. But just because somebody does one way because they're matching the texture that they have does not mean that it's wrong or right. They're just matching what they have. So for me to say, you know, oh, it's got to be this way. It's got to be, my coin door has a heavy texture. All Williams coin doors have heavy texture. Well, that's not true because look, heavy texture, barely any texture between the two. Now these two are in good shape, so I'm just going to hit them with red Scotch Brite pad and then shoot them with a satin Rust-Oleum or matte finished Rust-Oleum, because there's no reason to sand the texture out of them. We're going to leave them textured like they came from the factory, and so all we're doing is scuffing it up so that the new paint will stick to it. That's all we have to do. We don't have rust. We don't have a bunch of, you know, junk going on where we need to worry about it. Same thing with all these other parts. They're all in really good shape. No point in screwing around. There's just dirt on here. With sanding all the texture off and everything and then having to retexture them. If they still have good texture and you don't have a bunch of flaking paint or powder coating or whatever they used back then, just Scotch Brite them and respray them. That's all you got to do. They will look brand new. Let's see if there's a difference between. Okay, so for instance, this is a metal one. You can hear it. This, okay, that's a metal one. Plastic. Okay, so this one has less texture. This one, more texture. So clearly this more textured one goes to the more textured bottom. That all came off the same cabinet. So they had, the differences they had, you know, some of them were plastic and some of them were metal. That's just how they did it. I don't know what the reasoning was for that. Were they just making that many games that they sourced multiple suppliers for this stuff? Plastic, metal. But once again, all in beautiful shape. Just need a quick scuff and paint. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to sit here on camera. We're going to high speed it. I'm going to get all this stuff scuffed down. And we're going to get it painted satin black. Same thing with the control panels. So then I can start putting these things on the cabinet. We can get the overlays on. We can get the control panels put together. You know, and start getting these games put together finally. Because I am ready for them to leave. So I'm going to sit here on my chair and just go ahead and scuff away with some Scotch Brite pad, and then I'm going to grab some sandpaper for the control panels. Okay, I sanded down everything. I didn't video all of it. But I'm going to get everything blown off now, get it onto a piece of wood or something so we can start painting it. Okay, I have all the parts. I have them upside down right now because I want to paint the backside first. Let them dry for a little bit and flip them over. So I have all the parts here, and I have the 2 control panels, and I have one of the speaker grills, which I have to take the plastic off the other one. The other one's broken, and I have a metal one for that. I'm going to try to spray paint around these stickers on the back side of the coin doors, or the lower coin boxes, because I want to try to save those. And now, the good thing is everything is really nice on this stuff. And that's usually not how it is for me. You know how I usually get stuff rusted, corroded, crappy. But the good thing is that everything is so clean that it's not going to need a ton of paint to cover it again. We're basically just freshening it up, you know what I mean? So I'm just going to put on some lighter coats here. And I'm going to stay away from the sticker. We're using the Krylon matte black finish, 5X. So try to stay away from it. I mean, I might get a little overspray on it, but that's okay. Try to keep the original sticker if I can. And this matte finish pretty much resembles the original appearance. So I just put on 2 light coats on the back side of everything. We don't need to go super crazy. This paint's actually pretty thick, so it covers really fast, especially when you have already existing paint and or powder coating, whatever this is, that's on a lot of these parts. It's rare for me to have parts that are not all rusty, that I'm grinding the crap out of to make them look good. Now the plastic piece that goes on the back of the control panel, I'm actually missing one of them. I believe I have another one in the basement. If not, I think Arcade Shop still sells them. But I have not looked in a while, so I'll look and see. What it does is it just goes between the control panel and the glass. But you can see how quick this stuff's covering. I mean, it's a no-brainer. It's not, doesn't need a ton of paint. I like usually hanging my parts up in the spray booth, but I got that car in there. So, waiting for it to get picked up by the shipper. I'm going to flip these over as well so that I can get the edges on both sides. I like to completely coat the wood, just to help preserve it longer, you know. And it looks better. I mean, the reason why I always paint the insides of these is because I'm always filling in old holes from conversions that people did to the games over the years. And I like to paint the outsides because the control panel overlay adheres better if you have paint on it. The bare wood, I've never had really good luck with them on the bare wood. Now, the original ones on the bare wood, that glue was some serious crap, man. That stuff stuck to everything. It'd probably stick a person to a wall with that stuff. I don't know what it was, but it was some pretty nice stuff. Wish they still made glue like that, to be honest with you, because you fight nowadays to get shit to stick because it just doesn't have the capabilities that it once had. My hand keeps cramping up today. Gotta switch to a left-handed here. Hate that. Good old carpal tunnel. Gotta love it. I can use my left hand, I'm just not as coordinated, I guess you'd say. Okay, I'm going to put the coat on the back of the speaker grill wood. Once again, originally it didn't have paint. We're just going to put one nice coat on it. That's all it needs. Just making it uniform. Now this matte black Krylon, I buy it by the case at Lowe's. You get a 6-pack of them. Because I use a lot of it. Okay, I'm going to give this about 10 minutes. We'll put another light coat on everything. And then about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I'll flip everything over and put a coat on the opposite side. All right, guys, it's actually been a few hours. I went and did a bunch of running around. Figured, you know what? It's not going to hurt to let this stuff sit a little bit longer. It's just going to make it not want to stick when you flip it over. So I'm going to flip all these parts over, and then we just got to paint the other sides of them. And then these parts can sit overnight, and those would be more parts ready to go back on the games, really. Good thing is we'll be able to get the control panel overlays put on, get the control panels put together, get them bolted onto the car or onto the cabinet. This is kind of like the hardest stuff in a sense, as far as it's just a lot of time consuming work, you know what I mean? But once you have all this done, it's just so much nicer to be able to just grab parts. They're all cleaned, ready to go, and you just put them all together. Stopping and cleaning parts and painting them, it slows you down quite a bit, really. Gonna flip over these control panels. Now I'm only gonna do one more coat on the control panels. And I'm gonna get this edge real good, and then just one more light coat on the whole things. Oh boy. And that's all they really need. I'm not gonna do any more paint on the inside. No point in wasting the paint on the inside. So let me grab my mask, and I'm just gonna go ahead and put a coat of paint on all these. I like to spray paint like I paint a car. I try to go in long strokes. Won't get the full effect of what they look like until tomorrow, once they fully cure. probably end up having to open another can. So I'll go through almost 2 cans of paint on all these parts, which that seems to be about normal, I would say. I'm putting it on a little bit thicker on that edge there. And then I'm just going to light dust the outside of it. And that's it. And then I'm going to end this video because I'm going to wait like 15 minutes or so and I'm going to put the last coat on. But I think you guys understand. I don't think you need to see me spray paint yet another coat on here. We got a little bit of a dimple in the wood here. Tiny little dimple. You'll never see it with the overlay on it. So if you get little tiny spots like that, don't worry about it. Obviously, if you have something the size of a silver dollar, you're going to see that. But something the size of half the size of a pencil eraser, you'll never see it. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead, give this a good 10-15 minutes, and end this video. And then I'm going to go in the basement for a little while and work on the, what the heck is that game called? Supersonic playfield, and see if I can get a lot of that paint touched up. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. I'll be back tomorrow. Not sure what I'm going to work on. I'd like to start putting the cabinets together, but we'll see how it goes. I have a ton of stuff to get done tomorrow. We might be working on those heads of the pinball for that guy to get those out of the way. So I'm not sure yet. But other than that, guys, thanks for watching. Any questions or comments, feel free to ask. And hopefully you guys look forward to these Williams cabinets finally getting put together. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.